Every army had its basic tactics, policies and plans for triumphing on the battlefield, and every army constantly modified them in detail or on a large scale as circumstances changed. From the war's outset, German General Staff policy taught that only an offensive approach achieved success, and that the defensive should be employed only as a holding operation, or to provide a more secure base for future offensive operations. This principle was embodied in the tactical doctrine of the Blitzkrieg or Lightning War. This was clearly demonstrated during the first years of World War II and dominated German military thinking and action up to about 1943. The basic field tactics within this framework divided into three main parts. The first being reconnaissance tactics. This task is common to all armies until they meet in battle. The Germans divided it roughly into operational reconnaissance, which they considered as general long-range observation mainly by air, tactical reconnaissance, which was carried out 15 to 20 miles in advance of an attacking force by motorized or armored units specially organized for the task, and battle reconnaissance, which was close-range reconnaissance, as a division or similar force moved in to engage an enemy. The latter pattern was the most important, and according to the principle whereby armored units made the first thrust, was entrusted, wherever possible, to the armored reconnaissance battalions of the armored divisions. The standard patrol consisted of 3 armored cars operating on a narrow front and providing mutual observation and covering fire. The lead vehicle was often used as a decoy, being driven close to suspected enemy positions and then withdrawing rapidly once it had exposed these by drawing their fire. Once contact was established, it was normal practice to try to build up a local superiority in numbers, calling on the reserve armored infantry of the battalion to enable scouting to be pushed forward and enemy outposts to be driven in. Infantry as such were not normally expected to undertake offensive reconnaissance, since the infantry divisions were intended only to consolidate and to mop up, but in specialist cases they were used. In such cases, fighting patrols of up to 15 to 20 men, but more often 7 to 8, were sent out in World War I fashion. They were armed mainly with automatic and semi-automatic weapons and were not expected to engage in serious and prolonged fighting. Their duty was to take prisoners if possible and to report.